Hello there, glad you could join us on the program. I'm Ibrahim Adra. To minimize the spread of the coronavirus, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory ordered several proactive steps to ensure protection of the residents of the nation's capital, while also ensuring that all necessary plans of action are drawn up and put in place. We give details of the preventive measures taken so far by the administration.
Residents of the Federal Capital Territory besieged the markets as they come to terms with the impact of the coronavirus pandemic. The nation's capital recorded its index case on March the 21st, 3 weeks after the first case in the country. Since then, the numbers have been rising, and Abuja has recorded the only fatality in the country. To curtail the spread of the virus, the FCT administration shut down schools.
The Federal Capital Territory being also the point of entrance into this country from so many other countries, where our children are exposed in schools. No matter the level of hygiene, it is not enough. On this note, we wish to appeal to all schools to please shut down for this moment. Besides that, all premises of business activities must display sanitizers. There will be committees in place to inspect, even in the marketplaces. And when these are not done in shops, we'll be forced to shut down those shops. We must comply to the hand washing hygiene rules. In the meantime, the administration has given the striking doctors 24 hours to resume work, after which they should consider themselves as having exited the FCT administration.
As the cases in the nation's capital continue to rise, the FCT administration met with religious leaders and decided to restrict the number of persons at each gathering to just 50. Social distancing became a practice at most government events as more cases were recorded. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and that's what the FCT administration set out to do as part of efforts to curtail the spread of the virus.
All places of worship are to remain closed. In addition to that, as part of implementing social distance measures, we wish to re-emphasize the policy taken regarding social gatherings, and accordingly, the FCT hereby bans all gatherings in public parks, public gardens, bars, nightclubs, event centers, football viewing centers, and any gathering where there will be multitudes of people. Shops in the markets and neighborhoods centers in the FCT are to be shut to traders except those who sell essential commodities and medicines. And essential commodities, of course, include all manner and nature of food items. In addition to that, pharmacies, supermarkets, and markets selling essential products, as well as bakeries, are to remain open, but they will abide by strictly laid down procedures. Where we notice that citizens decide to flout these directives, then we'll have no option but to apply the full wrath of the law.
In places that normally attract large population. There will be deployments in these areas to ensure that there is compliance to the agreed protocol. We, in conjunction with other security agencies, will be enforcing. All violators will be duly treated according to the laws of the land.
While marketplaces are partially open and civil servants are made to stay at home, commercial transport systems are not complying with the social distancing practice. they 4 inside.
Then I took you inside.
Now, I'm supposed to sit but I'm 4 inside.
I'm even surprised, actually. I'm even surprised that people are home because my intention is to just go there, treat the dog, and go back home. So I don't intend to stay in the office for now and during this period, just to treat the dog and go home. So I'm even surprised people are still moving outside, like nothing is going on.
The way we move in our transportation system in this place is so crowded, and you get to interact with people, you touch people and all manner of things. As you can see, I'm putting on my mask because I'm trying to prevent it, and I have small sanitizer here. I'm trying the little I can to protect myself.
Yes, it's the right thing, but the people that don't have money, like me now, I don't have money. I'm very poor. I don't have money till 2 weeks. I can't hold myself.
I came to stock my house because I was aware that they were going to shut down the market and shops. So I decided to come to the market to buy some food stock, to stock my house, and also stay at home because I believe that is the best solution for now.
How do you feel about the stay at home?
It's not really easy for us because I don't even like staying at home. It's not really easy. I tried to do it yesterday, but it wasn't funny at all.
Following the rising number of cases, the FCT administration is making efforts to increase the isolation centers in the nation's capital. This facility, located in the AIDE area of the Federal Capital Territory, is being proposed as an isolation center. It has 300 beds.
The most critical thing is that this place has a lot of space. We are talking of 5 floors. I don't think in the whole of Abuja we have a building, a hospital facility that can accommodate up to 5 floors. More importantly, there is power here, constantly 24/7 from massive generators, and there is adequate water supply. So why we are here with the experts is to see if this place would be suitable for them, and I leave it now for the officials of the Federal Ministry of Health, Nigerian Center for Disease Control, and of course our public health official. Jointly they will decide what needs to be done here, and we have a lot of commitments from private sector organizations who are willing to support the national unity to fight this disease. And once they all agree, I'm sure within a very short period of time this place can be made functional.
Residents are further enjoined to avoid any large gathering and report any non-compliance to the authorities using the toll-free numbers 0809 993 6312, 0809 993 6313, 0809 993 6314, and 0708 063 1500.
Thank you for staying with us. Let's look at some of the stories that made the headlines in the nation's capital.
The federal government is asking Nigerians to brace up for tougher measures as part of efforts to curtail the spread of the virus. The Minister of Information, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, told a news conference that government is prepared to tackle any necessary measure for contact tracing. The measures started rolling in almost immediately as the federal government closed all borders and limited the number of civil servants at work. The government also suspended the Federal Executive Council indefinitely. In the meantime, the federal government is considering banning interstate travels as part of efforts to curtail the spread of the virus. The Minister of Information, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, told the news conference that the government may also consider fumigating major towns and cities.
Considering tougher measures to enforce compliance in order to stop the exportation of the disease to states that do not have it and minimize spread. Possible measures include using firefighting and other adaptable vehicles and personnel to fumigate cities and towns. We also don't rule out stopping interstate and inter-town travels except for essential services. And we do not rule out closing all motor parks and interstate rail stations. Already, all train movements nationwide have been stopped. We'll be considering and announcing new measures from time to time, but rest assured that whatever decisions we take will be in the best interest of Nigerians. We're on the verge of reaching the level of community spread. We must stop this immediately, or we will record exponential cases in the days ahead.
The Minister of Health, Dr. Sagi Ehanire, has confirmed that the presidential aide has tested positive to the coronavirus. He refused to give the name of the aide, though it's suspected that the Chief of Staff to the President, Alhaji Abakari, may have tested positive to the virus. Meanwhile, members of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 visited the presidential villa amidst unconfirmed reports of the Chief of Staff to the President, Abakari, testing positive to the coronavirus. The team was at the office of the Chief of Staff. Members of the committee later tested negative to the virus. Staying in the State House, President Muhammadu Buhari and Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo have tested negative for the coronavirus. Both men have been under self-isolation after they came in contact with a suspected case. The Central Bank Governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, has listed steps that must be taken by the federal government to cushion the effect of the COVID-19 on the nation's economy. Some of the measures, according to the governor, are economic diversification, reducing over-reliance on oil receipts, and an aggressive tax collection system. Mr. Emefiele made this known after the meeting of the Monetary Policy Committee. Nigeria has received its share of test kits and protective equipment donated to Africa by Chinese billionaire Jack Ma. The materials which arrived in Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport include 100,000 masks and personal protective equipment and 20,000 test kits. In the midst of efforts to stop the spread of the coronavirus, members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, commenced an indefinite industrial action on Monday, March 23rd. The president of the association, Professor Biodun Ogunyemi, told the news conference that the action became necessary following the federal government's refusal to address issues raised in its 2019 Memorandum of Understanding, as well as its objection to joining the Integrated Payroll and Personal Information System. And finally, to other matters now, the Defense Headquarters has confirmed the death of 47 soldiers following an attack by the Boko Haram sect. The coordinator of the Directorate of Media Operations, Major General John Eneche, made the confirmation at a news briefing.
They targeted, ambushed the column that is the last, the logistics column, and fired the truck carrying the bomb. At the moment that was fired, there was an explosion. So the explosion in the regions was what killed majority of our troops, including the pockets that came to attack. That transferred to the one carrying the fuel in the other truck. 2 trucks were affected. That one also caught fire. But I tell you that the one that carried the bombs, after that hit and the explosion, shrapnels, the bombs flew. As a result of that, after the mopping up of what happened, we recorded 37 confirmed picked bodies. Those ones have been transported to. As a follow-up, as the counting was going on, I was given another figure of 10. Those ones there on the ground. So authentically, we lost 47.